Faster Fluency Conversation Club podcast episode 319, The Importance of Rewarding Yourself to Stay Motivated. Welcome to the Faster Fluency Conversation Club podcast by Business English with Christina. The Faster Fluency Conversation Club takes place on Zoom and is a way for you to improve your fluency and confidence in English by talking about real-world topics. We meet for 1 hour every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and we would love you to join us. If you want to practice your English, become more confident, and meet people just like you from all around the world, and have guidance from my expert teachers and me, just click the link in the show notes. Our podcast listeners receive a 50% discount on the first month of membership with the discount code FFCC50. Come and join us today. Hey everybody, Christina here with your Faster Fluency Conversation Club podcast. Good to see you. Good to be speaking with you again because I don't actually see you. But anyway, I am here with Karyn, who I do see while we're recording this. And Karyn, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well. Christina, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. And it is good to see you again. And let's see, today we're talking about the importance of rewarding yourself to stay motivated. And I guess this could be, for us, it would be in the context of learning a language, but it can really be for any kind of long-term goal that you're working towards. When you're working towards something, how do you keep yourself motivated? Do you give yourself rewards?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Do you have something specific that you do, or is it just kind
I
of...
like to go. I might say, okay, if I do this, maybe if I clean my house or something. I love to clean my house. It's like one of my favorite things to do. If
Oh,
anybody
yeah.
knows me, they'll ask me, what are you doing, Karyn? I'm cleaning my house.
Cleaning the
But
house.
if I clean my house, if I have a goal, like, okay, I want this room clean,
Yeah.
I might go on the internet and buy myself a new rug or a new pillow or something.
Yeah.
So yes, of course you need to reward yourself.
Yeah,
What about
no.
you, Christina? How do you
Yeah.
reward yourself? You're a runner. How do you reward
I
yourself?
do. I don't know if this is the best reward. I go running and then I have a piece of cake or something.
That's a good one.
Probably not the best reward to go with that activity. But no, I do think, for example, what did I do? When I ran the Paris Marathon, I was like, okay, I reached that goal. I did it. My reward is going to be to buy myself a new pair of running shoes.
There you go.
Because
Shopping.
running shoes are not cheap, so it's not like something you can just buy like that. And so I said, okay, I ran this race, I prepared this race. These shoes that I have, they're still good, but maybe now I can reward myself with a new pair of shoes to prepare for my next marathon. And so I thought that was a nice way of rewarding myself for reaching that goal and having the discipline to, I guess, get myself to that goal as well. It's like almost like if I'm going to buy myself something before I do it, I have to justify that I deserve it.
Yeah, people are their own worst critic, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm my own worst critic. Oh no, I should have done this in the lesson. I should have done that in the lesson. But we need to rewire our brains,
Mm-hmm.
right? We
Yeah.
definitely tell ourselves, "Good job. Hey, these are the things I did well. These are
Yeah.
the things maybe I would have done a little differently." But yeah, you need to celebrate to embed and rewire your brain. You need that hit of
Exactly.
dopamine.
Exactly that. Yeah, and that's exactly it. It's like, if you do something, let's say for the people listening to the podcast, maybe you go into a session of FFCC, or you have a lesson with your teacher, or you do something in English at your work, like you do a presentation or
Right.
you participate in a meeting or whatever. Like you said, a lot of times people, and when I say people, I'm including myself in this, we have a tendency to look at the things that we didn't do as well as we wanted. And that is training our brain to say, oh, I'm bad at
Yes.
English.
Mhm.
And I hear it with a lot of people I talk to. We'll talk about what program they want to join or whatever. And they start off by saying, I'm really bad in English, or I was always bad in English. And it almost becomes like a self-fulfilling prophecy. You say, oh, I'm bad, I didn't do well. Then you think of yourself as not very good, and then you're not very good. But
You look for things. You purposely
yeah,
look for things to validate your belief. It's all about your belief systems, right? So they're
exactly.
validating your belief that, hey, I'm bad at English. Look, I can't pronounce this word, or oh, I messed up in this grammar,
Mm,
this tense. So they look for, like a detective looking for clues,
yeah,
oh, there it is. I did this or did that. And
yeah,
that's definitely the wrong approach. You're, like I said, rewire your brain to say, hey, I wrote that email. I did a great job with that.
yeah.
That's something that I should be proud of. They
Exactly. Yeah.
get
And it's
little of
it's
that. Mhm.
it's yeah, and I was gonna say, even if it's not perfect, and I don't think anything ever is perfect,
No.
but you can say, like, wow, I'm able to sit down and write a complete email in a foreign language. Or I just did a 5-minute presentation all in English. And even though you might think like, well, yeah, that's just part of my job, it's what I do, it's normal. There's a lot of people that are not capable of that. And
Yeah.
I almost feel like it's like with gratitude, I would tell friends, I'm like, oh no, I think at the end of the day, well, I'm really thankful that I have a home, that I have hot water, things like that.
Right.
And people are like, that's just normal. And I'm like, there are a lot of people that are not, they don't have those things. And so I think that if things that we think of as just normal, or I should be able to
Mhm.
do it, we have to also remember that if you are able to do it, even imperfectly, you have done a lot of work to get to that point.
Right. I had some of my coaching students would say, "Hey, I spoke up in a meeting." I mean, before they would not say anything. They wouldn't say a word in
Yeah,
a meeting. So they actually spoke up and gave an opinion. That is something to celebrate. We celebrate that. We celebrate
exactly.
the wins. What did you do well this, what didn't go so well? Okay, we're going to work on that. But for people
Hmm.
to strive for perfection, it's a losing game.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
always going to lose. There's no such thing as perfect, right?
No,
No
not at
such
all.
thing.
Not at all. And it's one thing we learned in my neurolanguage training. It was an expression that is, what is it? Energy flows where attention goes. So it's
Right.
like
Oh
what
yeah.
you said,
Mhm.
if you're always focusing on the things you didn't do well, your energy is going to go into that negativity. But if you
Mhm.
are like rewarding yourself and saying, hey, I did well, I deserve a pat on the back or a piece of candy or a new pair of shoes or whatever, that's, like you said, it's going to train your brain to be like, hey, I'm good at this, or I'm getting better at this. And that's super exciting. And I want to do more of it. And then we do
But
things we're
why
good
is
at.
that?
So
Why do people focus on the negative so much? That is the question. Why do they always focus,
it's,
"Oh, I can't do this well, I can't do that well." That we need
yeah.
to reshape that, rechange that, definitely.
Exactly. That's, and I think the why of that, it's evolution. I mean, it's like
Mhm.
if you're out, if we go back to prehistoric times when humans were just trying to survive, you wanted to always focus on the bad things that were happening around you, because if you didn't, you
To
might get
survive.
attacked by a tiger or a dinosaur or something. And so that's why we focus on the negative, is because it's, historically what has kept us alive. But now we don't have to worry about that so much. And we can focus on the positive to not just keep us alive, but help us to thrive, let's say.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
that's what's important. We always celebrate. Yeah, I always try and celebrate those wins, because I could see in
Yeah.
my students' face, they're kind of like, "Oh yeah, I did it, but not that big of a deal." No, it's a big
It's a
deal. It's
big
a big deal
deal.
that you did it. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Exactly. That's, yeah. And I think we need to continue rewarding ourselves for those things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Okay, Karen. Well, thank you very much. And you can now go and reward yourself for recording this podcast. Right.
Okay. I'll buy
All right.
myself a pillow.
There you go. All right, Karen. Thanks a lot and have a good one.
Yep.
Thank you for listening again this week. As a bonus for our listeners, we now offer the transcript of this episode for free so you can read after listening. Our goal is to help you improve all aspects of your English. And when you become a member of the Faster Fluency Conversation Club, each week you also get exercises on grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, and more, directly connected to the topic of the conversation each week. In addition to the daily speaking practice in the club, you'll also make friends around the world with professionals just like you, so you have fun learning and remember what you learned better. And because you listen to this podcast, you get a 50% discount on your first month of membership. Just use the code FFCC50. And if you'd like to join the club, The link for more details is in the show notes for this podcast. We hope to see you in the club.